Are you tired? You just can't focus like you used to? Is your phone the first thing that you wake up to and the last thing that you look at before going to bed? Well, then you and I are very similar. Social media is everywhere nowadays. And this is the first video of mine, so you guys are gonna have to bear with me as I look through my notes. We live in the fastest generation ever. Everything's connected. We have the internet. We have quite literally the world at our fingertips. In this video, we're going to talk about social media and a little bit about how it changes our brain and how it all works. Just kidding. We're going to talk a lot about how it affects our brains. This first section, I am going to call brain and dopamine because it's kind of what it's all about. Our brains were not designed for the constant stimulation of social media and what kind of content TikTok and YouTube and social media and like Instagram. Our brains were not made to consume all of that information all at once. We have trained our brains to seek after instant satisfaction, instant dopamine and gratification through any means necessary on our phones. You might get that from all of the notifications from your friends texting you or Snapchatting you. That was so cringy. Or short form videos such as TikToks, Instagram, YouTube Shorts. Those play a big role. Bigger role than you think they do. Music is getting shorter. Look at classical music. They're like 10-minute long symphonic masterpieces. And now you look at today's SoundCloud rappers and each song is about 2 minutes long. And we just keep scrolling. We find one TikTok or one reel that we want to send to our friends, and then we're like, oh, well, I might as well go see what's next on my timeline or what's next on my FYP. And you know what? Creators love that. They love that. I love it. It means that it brought you to this video. Also, if you don't already subscribe, consider subscribing. I got more videos like this soon. And I'm going to get better at this, okay? Our brains are dopamine junkies. Let me tell you, every single time that we go on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube, we are looking for that next high. Our phones are a drug. Now that may sound a little dramatic, but it's true. Dopamine is a chemical in our brains that gets rapidly fired off when something feels good. We've gotten so used to dopamine in our systems that without it, we feel uncomfortable, unsafe, and silence tends to be scary. And being scared of silence is a little bit concerning for me because I hear a lot of people tell me that they have social anxiety. I must say, I was kind of a shy kid growing up, but when I was going through college, I would force myself to go into the gas station and pay in cash or at the register so that I would have that social interaction and I would become less of an introvert and more of an extrovert. But it feels like everyone online is saying that they have some kind or some sort of social anxiety. And I have a feeling that not spending time with people face to face and instead being glued to our phones is partially the cause for that. Now, I can't say any of this because I also struggle with doom scrolling. It's 7:35 at night as I'm recording this right now, and it's because I doom scrolled for 3 hours. And that's unacceptable as someone who's trying to tell you like this is what's wrong with the society and our attention spans are screwed. So don't take me as a hypocrite. Yes, I have a bad habit of doom scrolling. I do doom scroll just like everybody else. Another theory that I have is doom scrolling and being glued to our phones has also caused these ADHD-like symptoms. Now, I'm not saying that it is the clinically diagnosed neurological disorder, but having these shorter attention spans cause ADHD-like symptoms. Not the actual neurological disorder, just symptoms, because our brain is rewiring itself as we keep scrolling past minute videos, 30-second videos, minute and a half videos. Let's be honest here, how many people actually watch the whole 5-minute videos on TikTok or even the 10-minute videos on TikTok? Our brains create these long and short neural pathways. Shorter pathways lead to shorter attention spans, and longer neural pathways lead to being able to focus on a task longer, being more interested and invested in the conversation with other people that you're face to face with. And that's what makes us human. And with being able to focus for longer, it means that we are able to provide and do a task better and ultimately have a better quality product or just better friendships. Who doesn't want a better friendship? We don't want the fake ones that are like, oh yeah, hey, check out this reel. You know, that's lame. Our brains say no thanks to being uncomfortable. Let's just face the facts. So picture this. You parked your car on a hill. and it's starting to roll down because you forgot to put the handbrake on. ADHD much? Is that your car rolling away? Oh. Oh, shoot! Oh, shoot! And it's all because you were so... what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. I tried. Our brains say no thanks to being uncomfortable, but being uncomfortable is what makes us better and grow us as people. Think of going to the gym and doing a hard workout and then being sore afterwards. Being sore is actually what makes you stronger because it means that you tore your muscle fibers just enough so that when they heal, they grow back stronger and bigger. That's literally what working out and becoming stronger means. And that only comes when you're sore and uncomfortable. So our brains are just like a muscle. You have to be uncomfortable in order to become smarter and to have a better attention span. And let's be honest here, we all want to focus better and become better humans, right? I mean, that should be the reason why you're even on this channel, is to learn something new and do hard things with me, right? Right? This next section, I'm calling stats and studies because I feel like I got to give you guys a little bit more credibility to this video so it's not just like my own opinion. According to a survey by the Pew Research Center, 31% of teens said that they lose focus in class because they're checking their phones. Even more, 49% say that they got distracted by using technology that has nothing to do with the classes that they're taking. In other words, almost half of the students admit that off-task phone usage is making it harder for them to pay attention in class. And these are all high schoolers and college students that are having a hard time focusing because they have conditioned their brains to be always checking for the next notification or bling or vibration in their pockets. Another study by Gloria Mark, who is a psychologist and professor at University of California, Irvine, shared some eye-opening findings about how our attention spans have changed over time. In 2004, the average attention span was about 2.4 minutes. By 2012, it dropped to almost 75 seconds. What is the attention span of a goldfish? Attention span of a goldfish. 13 seconds. Okay, I think we win. According to Mark, our attention span is split into two. Focused attention is when you're fully engaged, and rote activity, which is when you're doing things on autopilot without really paying attention or putting much thought into it. Focused activity means that we are focused for longer, we are learning actively, and we are fully present in the moment. Rote activity is just like, I'm just gonna like put on music and then mindlessly do the dishes. And that's what that's for. Rote activity is for those mindless dishes that you need to clean and put away into the dishwasher or hand wash the pots and pans that you have. You can find all my sources down in the description. We're gonna move on to the next section, which is attention spans and overstimulation. The problem isn't that you can't focus anymore, but that focusing on things is uncomfortable. Focusing and delegating all of your attention onto something feels really boring, and so we just check out and we move on to whatever is new and exciting. But when we check out, we tend to just avoid any kind of uncomfortability that we are sitting in at that moment. But doing hard things makes us grow, and some of those hard things might be reading and thinking. And let's be honest here, thinking and being stuck inside your own thoughts and inside your own head it's very scary sometimes, okay? I get it. But we learn. Take some time, read a book. It could be a fiction book. I don't judge you for wanting to listen or to read something that's entertaining. That's what reading is for. We should love to read because it's entertaining. But if we don't do these things, our brains will naturally avoid doing hard things, which stalls our growth and stunts us from being better humans. Now, this is why slowing down is hard. So why is slowing down so hard? Well, slowing down basically eliminates distraction. And without distraction, we can't distract ourselves from our own thoughts. And we become more self-aware, which I've watched a couple of the stupidest people on internet videos, and I gotta be honest, I think some people need to be a little more self-aware of what they're doing in public. You get stuck alone with your own thoughts, and I've been there. I've gone through depression and some not great thoughts and processes in my life, but Jesus has saved everything. He reminds me that I'm forgiven and that I need to show myself some forgiveness. Anyways, I'm getting off topic, okay? What I have found most recently is that if we confront our problems and our fears and everything in it, and we confront everything face on, smack it in the face, and we have to go through the process of learning how to grow and forgive ourselves, heal the hurts that we've had and the thoughts that we've been trapped in forever, and that we've been trying to find distractions for. And without distractions, we become naturally more creative, because the God who created us in his image, and God is a creative being. God is the creative being, and he made us to be creative. So why shouldn't we be creative? Because he made us creative. Does that make sense? Am I talking in circles? I don't know. Anyways, also without distraction, discipline is built. You start growing a regimen of waking up at 6 a.m., brushing your teeth, make lunch, get in the car, go to work. And you don't get into this idea of, okay, well, let me doom scroll for 2 hours and then go to work. Or I'm just going to watch one more video, and then one more video at night turns into you staying up till 3 a.m. in the morning. And that's not healthy for our brains, because our brains have to reset. Sitting in silence, that's where God shows up, by the way. Turning off your phone, taking a break, it lets your brain breathe. Think about it this way. You're running a marathon, and you've never run a marathon in your life. And you're just running. You're running and running and running. You're going to be panting by the end of it, and you need to take a breath. You need to take a break. Social media keeps our brains active and constantly looking for the next thing, and puts us on high alert to the point where now we're no longer in this relaxed mode, even though we're like, all right, I need to just zone out and chill out for an hour. That's not actually rest at all. Your brain is constantly moving and is actually in the highest version of being alert that it can be in. So taking the time to sit in the silence, read a book, listen to an audiobook if you're an auditory person. I know I am. I have a hard time reading a book. I used to be such a big reader when I was a kid. What happened to me? What I'm trying to say is discipline doesn't have to be loud. It can be quiet and uncomfortable at first, but if you keep doing it, I know you'll become better. I just know it. And this brings us to one of the final sections, and that is, how do we fix our attention span? And I've got a couple bullet points for you, okay? Number 1, limiting your time on social media. iPhone literally has a lockout timer for all of your apps. So if you are on your phone like me 8 hours a day, which doesn't make any sense because, I'm supposed to be working, you can limit and set a screen time limit on all social media platforms. Now, I wouldn't do YouTube. There's long form YouTube videos and commentary videos that you might enjoy on YouTube, such as Oompaville and the Fat Electrician. They make some awesome content. If you like historical, go check out the Fat Electrician. If you like conspiracy theories, go check out Oompaville and Wendigoon. I'll link them down in my bio as well if you're gonna go check them out. I've really been enjoying both, if not all three of them, all at once. And I've been able to focus on one subject for 4 hours. So that's number 2. By the way, I kind of just skipped over that. Long form and commentary YouTube videos, number 2. Okay. Number 3, audiobooks and podcasts. Podcasts can kind of be lumped in with like the long form videos and the commentary videos that are about like an hour and a half long. Podcasts are great too. Go find a podcast that you really enjoy. I've never really gotten into the Joe Rogan podcast, but you guys could definitely go check it out, and it seems really popular, so go check it out. Maybe, I don't know, it's not my thing, but maybe you will enjoy it. Me personally, I like the Unsub podcast. The Unsubscribed podcast. It has Brendan Herrera, the Fat Electrician, as I've mentioned before. It also has Eli Double Tap and Donut Operator, and I think they're really hilarious. And they just talk about life, and they just talk about war stories, and they bring guests on. And if I'm being honest, it's kind of my dream to be on that podcast someday. So if you guys like and subscribe, maybe get your boy up to 1,000 Maybe get your boy up to 1,000 subscribers. I'm still trying to figure this out. I've also been listening to the Screw Tape Letters, which is by C.S. Lewis. I love how it's like I'm eavesdropping on 2 demons just talking. I think it's pretty sweet. And then number 4, doing hard things on purpose, like walking without music. Take your dog for a walk And instead of putting your AirPods in, just sit in silence. Listen to the birds as they fly over you and they're chirping their beautiful song. Maybe you'll hear a leaf crunch in the distance and you'll look to your left and be like, that's a whole deer. That's crazy. Conclusion! Alright, I don't know how to end this video, but I guess the benefits of slowing down and the outcome of it all, if you stick to this for a long period of time, is that you'll become more calm. You'll feel at peace more often. You'll know what true rest feels like. You'll start to respond instead of react. You'll become smarter because you're spending more time learning and putting your full attention into learning instead of half learning the subject and then moving on. And if I could wrap up this video by leaving you guys a little bit of wisdom, is the easy things feel good now, but the hard and difficult things will benefit you for the rest of your life. The easy may be a short-term good, but the hard is long-term and will bleed into your relationships and your family and ultimately your relationship with Christ. Slow down, take in your surroundings, go people watch. That's always fun. And do hard things. Your future self will thank you. And as always, I love you, beautiful people, and I hope that you have a wonderful night. Peace.